Welcome back. This is the third lesson recording for IM1, February 23rd, 2021. So we're going to quickly review the exponents. So I would like you to fill in the very top table, okay? So let's just recall what 3 to the power of 4 is, 3 to the power of 3 is, 3 to the power of 2 is, 3 to the power of 1 is, 3 to the power of 0, 3 to the power of -1, and 3 to the power of -2. Can you fill in this table? And it gives you a clue. Stuff we already know. These are the easy ones that we already know. What is 3 squared? That is same as 3 multiplied by 3. 3 being multiplied to itself twice. So that is going to be same as 9. What is 3 cubed? It's going to be 3 times 3 times 3. That's going to be same as 27. And what is 3 to the power of 4? Same as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is same as 81. Okay, so then what is 3 to the power of 1? That's 3 being multiplied to itself 1 times. So that's just 3. So that's just going to be 3. Alright, then what about 3 to the power of 0? Okay, let's use the pattern that we know. Okay, perhaps you recall from first semester what that is. If you do not, okay, so this is what you're going to be doing. You are going to be using the pattern. Looking at the numbers, what is happening here? So we are multiplying by 3 to get to the next number. Okay, that means we can always go opposite direction. To go by opposite direction, we are going to do, instead of multiply by 3, we are going to divide by 3. So it's going to be divide by 3, divide by 3, and divide by 3. Like 81 divided by 3 is 27, 27 divided by 3 is 9, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we can continue this pattern and divide by 3. What is 3 divided by 3? That's just going to be 1. What is 1 divided by 3? And that is same as 1/3. Okay, and what is 1/3 divided by 3? Or you are actually same, divide by 3 is same as multiplied by its reciprocal. That means you flip the fraction. The fraction will be 3 is same as 3 over 1. That means you flip it and you are multiplying by 1/3. So if I multiply 1/3 by 1/3, that's going to be 1/3 multiplied by 1/3, which is going to be 1/9. Or we can also represent this as 1 over 3 to the power of 2. Okay? So that's another way of representing it. Now at this point, I would like you to try to fill in this table. Okay, so knowing what we know, hopefully this was a quick review. Can you fill in the rest? Please pause the video and do that right now. Okay, let's do that together. Alright, so well, let's deal with the easy one. 5 to the power of 1, that's same as 5. 5 being multiplied to itself 1 times. 5 to the power of 0, anything raised to the power of 0 is going to be 1. Okay, so and what about 5 to the power of -3? Okay, -3, remember the way to get rid of this negative sign on the exponent is to put it as 1 over. So this takes care of that negative sign. Everything else stays the same. So everything else is, that's 5 to the power of 3. So it's 1 over 5 to the power of 3. And I know that 5 to the power of 3 is same as 5 times 5 times 5. And that is going to be same as 125. So it's 1 over 125. Okay, let's go to a more abstract variable. What is b to the power of 1? That is same as just b. What is b to the power of 0? Anything raised to the power of 0, whether it's a variable or number, is always going to be 1. What about b to the power of -1? the way we get rid of this negative exponent is by putting it as 1 over, and then everything else stays the same. So that becomes b to the power of n. Okay, now let's bring it down to over this end. Okay, what is 2 over 3 to the power of 1? That is 2 over 3 raised to the power of, multiplied to itself one time. So it's just going to be 2 over 3. What about 2 over 3 raised to the power of 0? Remember, it doesn't matter how complicated this number is. Anything raised to the power of 0 is always going to be 1. And then 2 over 3 raised to the power of negative 2. Remember, to get rid of the negative sign as exponent is to put it as 1 over everything. That's going to be 2 over 3 raised to the power of 2. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, this is where it gets interesting, because this is saying it's same as 1 divided by 2 to the power of, this is going to be same as 2 over 3 times 2 over 3. So that's going to be same as 2 squared over 3 squared. And so that's same as 1 divided by 2 squared is 4 and 3 squared is 9. But remember, when you're dividing fraction, you can multiply its reciprocal. So this is same as 1 multiplied by, reciprocal means flip the second fraction. So 1 multiplied by 9 over 4, which is same as 9 over 4. So the final answer for the last one is 9 over 4. I want you to start thinking about when you see a negative exponent, think of it as flipping the whatever fraction. So in this case, this will be 5 over 1. If I flip 5 over 1, that becomes 1 over 5. 1 over 5 to the power of 3. That's what this is. It's the same as that. So in this case, you flip 3 over 2 and raise to the power of 2. This is same as you flip the 2 over 3, so that becomes 3 over 2. That's how you get rid of this reciprocal negative exponent, and all raised to the power of 2. That's going to be 9 over 4 as well. And that's exactly what we got. Okay, so that now that we've quickly reviewed our exponents, let's see what you can tell me. I want you to try to do these problems. You're going to take notes and you're going to tell me in private chat, what is 4 to the power of negative 2? Okay, what is 4 to the power of negative 2? That's going to be same as, the way we get rid of this negative exponent is by putting it as 1 over. And then everything else after the negative has been taken away is the same. It's going to be 4 to the power of 2. So 1 over 4 to the power of 2, that's same as 1 over 4 squared is 16, so it's going to be 1 over 16. What about number 2? This time, negative 4 is being raised to the power of negative 2. Okay, so this is negative 4 is being raised to the power of negative 2. So again, the way we get rid of this negative, the negative exponent is by putting it as 1 over, and everything else stays the same, including the parentheses. We haven't dealt with the parentheses, so it's negative 4 all raised to the power of 2. And what does this mean? This means that negative 4 is being squared. So that is same as negative 4 times negative 4, which is same as negative 4 times negative 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and negative times negative is going to be positive. So it is going to be 1 over 16. So they actually have the same answer. Even though they look a little bit different, they actually give you the same answer. In contrast, what about number 3? What is negative 4 to the power of negative 2 mean? Okay, so whenever you see a negative sign, I want you to think of it as negative 1 is being multiplied to whatever comes next. Negative 1 is being multiplied to 4 to the power of negative 2. Now, using the order of operation, what is before? Do we do multiplication or do we do exponents first? We need to do the exponents first, don't we? Okay, so we need to do 4 to the power of negative 2. So this just is same as negative 1 is being multiplied to what is 4 to the power of negative 2. The way we get rid of the negative exponent is putting it as 1 over, and then everything else stays the same. That's 4 squared. So this is same as negative 1 times 1 over 4 squared. So negative 1, negative, this is really just saying take a negative of it. And 1 of 4 squared is 16. So it's going to be negative 1/16 in this case. So slightly different here. Alright, what about this? Okay, what about a quarter squared? This is same as a quarter being raised multiplied to itself 2 times. Okay, so that means this is same as when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply top with top, bottom with bottom, so that becomes 1 over 16. Next problem, what about 1 over 4 all raised to the power of negative 2? Okay, remember what we said? When you see a negative sign, one way you can think of it is you flip the fraction. In this case, you are flipping this 4 over 1. This 4 is same as 4 over 1. So you're flipping it and then raising it to the power of 2. So again, to get rid of this negative exponents, you can flip the fraction. That becomes 4 over 1, which is same as just 4, and then raise to the power of 2. So putting it over 1 over is same as flipping the fraction. So that just becomes 4 squared is 16. 16 divided by 1 is same as 16. So the final answer is 16. And the last question, a quarter to the raised to the power of 0. Remember, anything raised to the power of 0 is going to be 1. Doesn't matter what the value is, it's always going to be 1. Okay, then let's do 4 more problems here. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we're going to use the order of operations to evaluate. When you have 2 multiply 3 by 3 squared, which one should we evaluate first? Do we do 2 times 3 first, or do we raise 3 to the power of 2? Do we do exponents first or multiplication first? We need to do the exponents first. So we're going to do 3 squared, and then to that you're going to multiply by 2. 3 squared is 9. And then to that you're going to multiply by 2, so that's going to be 18. What about number 2? This time you have a parenthesis. That means, remember, parenthesis is a grouping symbol. That means we always do parenthesis before exponents. That means we need to evaluate inside the parenthesis first. So that becomes 2 times 3, which is 6. Then you raise it to the power of 2. So that becomes 36. Notice this number 1 and number 2 look very similar, but they give very different answer because of order of operation. What about number 3? If you have 2 raised to the power of 1 minus 4, the exponent itself is, when you have it like that, it works like a grouping symbol. It's almost as if there is a parenthesis there. So that means you need to evaluate this first. So that becomes 2 to the power of negative 3, because 1 minus 4 is negative 3. The way we get rid of the negative symbol on the exponent is putting it as 1 over. So we just got rid of this negative, and everything else stays the same. 2 to the power of 3, which is same as 1 over 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And then finally 2 to the power of 1 minus 4. This is where you're doing the exponents first, because subtraction is right at the bottom. 2 to the power of 1 is just 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Okay, the last thing is you're going to finish card number 20 on decimals and enter the table of content here.